this beautiful Thursday morning. A little bit cold morning, chilly morning. I like it like that. I'm all decked up in my sweater. Is this one sweater, hoodie, everything? We should do this morning because the weather was really cold when I was leaving for work this morning. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. This is Women Radio 91.7, the FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. My name is Fumi Bangbala, and this is the Daily News Review program where we run through the headlines and then we tackle the ones that have caught our eye with our analyst who's already here, bright and early with us. Good morning, Sumbo. How are you?
Good morning, Fumi. I'm surprised you say it's cold.
It's cold though.
I don't feel the cold at all.
Eh, ah, I'm cold though. I'm wearing my hoodie. I even have like tracksuit bottoms as well. Underneath my hoodie, I have a sweater. I have a t-shirt as well because I'm cold. It's reminding me of my days in the Obodo Oyimbs.
You know how some people say it. You cannot live in the abroad.
No, that I've lived in the let me see. Did I get? I mean, I think over because of time, you sort of like get used to it, but I don't know. The heat was too much for me, so I don't mind the cold. It's just that I feel like it's easier to keep warm than to keep cold. So if there's sun, if you say you want to turn on the AC, that's money. So except maybe you have AC in your office. But in this day and age where diesel is like 1,950, offices are not really, really turning on their gens. They're turning on fans. So it's like the fan I have at home, fan here. Because the difference. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. We are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go via our website www.wfm917.com. The phone lines will be open shortly, but in the meantime, you can text, WhatsApp, or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp numbers 08155 917 or 0703 1756537. Okay, let us get into it. Running through the headlines this morning. We have from the Punch newspaper, school closures spread after fresh bandit attack. We're going to getting into that with the analyst this morning. Tinubu links tax compliance to infrastructure delivery in the FCT. Bandits attack community, kill school principal, abduct WAEC candidates. This is in the Guardian newspaper. Actually, in this week, we've seen fresh attacks in Benin, in Kogi. Yeah, Benin and Kogi, because Niger states, everybody has run off, right? So we'll get into it this morning because it's a case of, I think on Tuesday, yes, I had a conversation with Adeyemi on the Safe School initiative where billions of naira was funneled into it. It was brought up after, the Chibok girls were abducted in 2014. 12 years on, number one, the state of insecurity has gotten worse. Number two, secondary schools, primary schools in general, there's no infrastructure because it was supposed to be, basic security, like gated fences, like making sure that there are security guards, at least little easy Wi-Fi, little of that, and yet nothing. Most of the schools that these kids have been abducted from, there were no security agents there. Were they gated or were they dilapidated? Because the Safe School initiative is supposed to be keeping an eye on all these schools. But look at where we are in the year of our Lord 2026. Now, in this case, in Kogi State, why candidates? I remember last week complaining that the students were writing WAEC exams in the night. Exams were fixed at 2:30 and 5 p.m. in Lagos. Of course, WAEC timetable would be, I was going to say worldwide, nationwide, because in the state of insecurity that we have in this country is the audacity of WAEC candidate, of the WAEC itself, the institution itself, to be fixing exams at 2:30 and 5 p.m. Now it will be a different ball game if they actually wrote those exams at 2:30 and 5 p.m. No, students were actually writing exams at 10 p.m. in the night, in the midnight. And it's a case of which way Nigeria. Unfortunately, those that are making noise about it are making noise about it. But the looks like the government has turned a deaf ear at what is going on, in Nigeria. Children still remain the most vulnerable when it comes to insecurity. Even worldwide, not to even talk about Nigeria. I don't know. In the same vein, I think I saw an article or somebody talking about it on Twitter saying that even NYSC, how tone deaf can they be that you're still sending coppers to states that are, I was going to say war torn, but are we not at war if we're going to look at it? Zamfara State, Benue State, uh, Niger State, Borno State. Young adults are still sent to those places to go and serve. Like, what are we doing?
For me, the question is, where we are now, is there a state that is safe?
That's it.
I don't know, really enough, states that you consider unsafe. I don't understand. I don't know which state is safe now. Because your state is there, Kwara State is there, Kogi State is there, Ogun State is there, Lagos State, I'm not sure if, we've had something that we can confirm in that regard, but kidnappings happen in Lagos too, although, not on that large scale. We've not seen that. But truth of the matter is, all over Nigeria, you cannot put your hand on your chest and say, oh, this place is safe. I was meant to go for some function in Ibadan, and I said, I ain't going. I'm doing no road trips for now. As close as Ibadan is to Lagos, somebody can say, oh, is that not paranoia? Shouldn't there be paranoia with what we see? So let's not even go there. The entire nation, is in a state of disorder, is in a state of insecurity. Everybody is gripped with fear and all of that. And that's why I say that if we are really doing governance, that's the security situation is the only thing that we should be doing now. How to handle it, how to get out of it. Every other thing, it should be secondary. But I keep saying it. The chicken is beginning to come home to roost. So
Okay, moving on. We have federal government orders contractors not to block roads beyond 14 days. This one is even so funny, but okay. As long as it's not just an order, because what I've been seeing now is they say something and then what I ordered versus what I got is what we see. Moving on to this day newspaper, article NEF. It's time the federal government declared security agents emergency to empower war commanders. I remember when Sumbo started saying that Nigeria was at war against itself, and some people be like, "Oh no, we're not. No, you're just being well."
no, you are. I mean, you are at peace.
What are we? Well, yeah. We'll get into that if time permits. Cholera outbreak overwhelms health facilities in Borno State as nearly 8,000 people fall sick. And this is one of the interesting things about life, that when things are happening in one area, you just like everybody's focused on, well, not everybody, different people are focused on different things, and at the same time real life is happening to people. So imagine that cholera is over is there's a cholera outbreak in Borno State, the same state that there is insecurity. It's like, can we win? Anyway, in the Daily Trust, we have lawmakers flee as fire breaks out at Senate hearing room. Okay. Sumbo, why did you?
I'm
I was just going to slide right over that. Sumba, what do you want to say?
sorry. Go ahead for me. You are muted now.
Okay. Um, Rainstorm kills woman granddaughter in Bauchi. Please, please, please. It's important that we what's the English that I want to speak? It's important that we keep safe. It's been raining. The weather forecast says that it might rain a little bit today, and we already know that in this Nigeria, this bit of country that we are, we don't really do things on time that we are supposed to do it until things have gotten when it has when everything has hit the fan. So please be careful on the road. Please be careful in your houses. Try to whatever it is that you can do, because at the end of the day, you yourself, you're your own security agent at the end of the day. So please let's try to make sure you keep safe even in this raining season that we are. Our thoughts and prayers go to the family of this woman and granddaughter in Bauchi State. Moving on to the Vanguard newspaper, recurring methane leaks trigger health scare in Ijebu-Ode schools. Oh dear. Still on the Vanguard newspaper, we have 7 students injured as armed robbers attack a Boeing female hostel.
Hmm.
Ah,
Hey,
I mean, and here's the thing: the moment that Nigerians can be very, very, we know ourselves, like as audacious as we are, as we achieve, we don't take no for an answer that we are. Even in crime, we do the absolute most. And here's where I'm going to. When criminals see that the hand of the law doesn't fall on certain people, they're going to try their luck. Students, secondary schools have been at risk to banditry, terrorism, abductions. So to be like, we can as well go into a school to go and rob them. The question is, what do these students have that these armed robbers are going to go and steal from them? But besides that, look at that.
female student, puts another, dimension to it, because what it means is that they are susceptible to rape.
Absolutely, yeah. I was headed there.
Because the question is, why target the female hostel?
Oh my gosh.
So if I mean, I don't know, is it secondary school or a higher institution?
It doesn't say, it just says a female hostel. So either of it could be either of the two.
Well, I've told you severally over and over and over again. Nigeria, is at war. Well, Nigeria is naked. Look, for me, let me say something to you. Let me say something to you, Fumi. When the very first issue of terrorism came up, and one thing that I said when the government was not able to do anything about it, to bring order. One of the things that I said, and that bothered me so much, was the fact that this is sending a negative signal across the globe, across, terrorist camps and all of that, because what he was saying in effect, he was displaying to people like that Nigeria was porous, that Nigeria was naked, that Nigeria did not have a defense mechanism in place. And what do we see now? It's a free for all. And look at the number of abductions that have happened after that. Because the moment we did not, come out decisively to check that first incident, the signal we sent, was the fact that Nigeria, or is the fact, because its president continues now, is, porous, and that we do not have what it takes to defend the nation. And that's why you see, even look at the type of people who come out as bandits, who show themselves on TikTok and all the other social media, platforms. What do you think their ages are? When you look at them, do they look like somebody who ordinarily is intelligent, who ordinarily has what it takes, to plan and execute such things in a nation that people will say, hey, how you go get the liver? Do you understand? But here we are. In Nigeria is actually at the mercy of these people. That's the stark reality, and it is dangerous. That's what is sending fear. And how can we have the number of children that have been kidnapped in the past, some 3 weeks or more now, and they've been there maybe for 24 days, 25 days now. They are there. Government has not been able to do anything about it. And you think others will not be emboldened to do work?
It is well. Okay, moving on to the Premium Times. My God. Edo shuts down schools as leaked SSS memo warns of planned abduction of school children. I remember when there was an intelligence report for the students in Niger State, or was it Borno State last year? And they had sent security agents to those schools. Shortly after, I think about 2 weeks, or was 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I'm not sure, they left. The moment they left, those kids were abducted. And I was like, so are you telling me that your work as a security agent is just to stay there for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks until you think that the threat, if they see security agents there, they're going to leave. Some people had even opined and said, oh, it was probably planned work, it was intentional, they got a report, that's why they left. And that's why I'm going back to this safe school initiative, because I'm going back to that because the point of the safe school initiative that millions and billions of Nigerian naira was put in, we have not seen the effect of it. Now, Edo has shut down schools because of planned abduction of school children. Again, what are we doing in this country?
Let's go back, a couple of years, to let you know that what you are trying to talk about, well, we will continue to talk about it, but sometimes you look at it as like it's an effort in futility. In 2014, I think after the Chibok girls had been abducted and, it became an uproar in Nigeria and outside, the issue came up of how service chiefs had all received money for security to purchase ammunition and all of that. And the monies had been shared amongst all of them. And absolutely nothing was done towards security. Abi, you forget? The question you want to ask yourself, we are where we are now. What have we heard or what have we seen as justice to have been done to those people? The case as such just, died down as it will die down in Nigeria. You talk about it, everybody makes and then the next thing, another one bites the dust. It's over. You are on to another one. And so it's easy for the government of a Tinubu or subsequent government to say, why are you harassing me? It started from, do you remember the billions and billions of money, of naira, sometimes, dollars, that was stolen by these service chiefs? And then Nigeria made a show of saying, okay, EFCC, waiting come out. And then you are now talking of safe school initiative. Somebody is in control of the money. Those ones who have, they have, what do they say now? There's a word, they have greased their pockets. And nothing happens. That is the country that we live in, unfortunately. Under normal circumstances in another clime, those service chiefs will be rotting in jail. In some countries, they will be dead by now. Not of natural causes, because the country, the judicial system would have, given them the death penalty. Some would not have waited but would have, for that to be done, they would have committed, hierarchy, as they say in the Asian world, suicide by themselves, but in Nigeria, everybody steals and gets away with it. Everybody does crime and gets away with it. In America, they have an adage that says, if you do the crime, you must do the time.
Do the time.
Do you understand? That doesn't happen in Nigeria. So what are we saying? All these monies we are talking about, where are they? Who is tracking the monies? Where did they go to? Why don't we have, security apparatus in Nigeria? After all apart from money voted, openly for security and all, there are security votes for governors that, you don't disclose the amount, you don't account for it and all of that. What do we do with all this money? Those who have been in government over the years have done this nation such a big injustice. And unfortunately, they continue to do so because, of course, when it's there, it doesn't touch them. Tinubu will move from point A to point B and look at the security that follow, to the extent that Professor Wole Soyinka, who observed it, had to come out and say he had never seen anything like that. But you have our children languishing where they are, and we are saying, oh, we don't have what it takes to bring them out.
Oh boy. It, like, the more you think about it, the more wild it sounds. Because what do you mean? Like they say, you hear people say, oh, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. We've been following the money. We've not seen where the money has gotten to.
Where there's so much impunity in Nigeria. There's so much and that's why.
City.
Yes, and that's why all these bandits are other. Look at the way they carry out their. When I heard the case of bandits doing, what do you say they do?
TikTok live.
Giveaway.
Yeah, they did some giveaways this week. We talked about it. And they gave out about 50 million naira. And my question was, this money is going from one account to several accounts, and you are telling me that our banking industry, because if it was a case of somebody took money from the government, they will find the person. If it was a case of mistaken identity, they will find the person. But monies are going from the account of these bandits to Nigerians. You can see it on TikTok. You cannot lie and say you did not see it. And yet,
if I was the government and I had the authority, everybody who received money, I will round them up.
Absolutely.
Every one of them, because they are receivers of stolen property. And they are culpable in law. I will, all of them, you see that money they took, and if possible, if I can do an exchange program, I will tell the bandits, these the ones you have, take these ones. But that also tells you that while we keep screaming at government, we need to look inwards. The average Nigerian that I see today is sick. It's not all right. Because how does anybody come and do such a thing? And then you say you are catching cruise.
We have a call. Please hold on. Hold on to that thought. Hello, good morning.
Good morning for me. Good morning, our analysts this morning. Good morning, Nigerians across the world.
Good morning, Prince. How are you?
Madam Fumi, I think it is time for us to declare over this country. For me, I have decided to pray one simple prayer. Whoever has taken it upon themselves, either politically or whatever morality they think they have, to torment Nigerians and bring us to... you said something yesterday. I was trying to ponder that in my mind. I do not want to say it. But later, the thing popped up again on my Twitter. I began to hear that man, that primary 5 or 4 student, who is now a governor, saying what he said. And I was wondering, were people that are educated, were they there? When Monday was making that statement, was there nobody to pinch him and said, guy, you are too small for this kind of statement? And when you were saying it yesterday, I tried to ignore it from my head so that it will not be like something that worries my head. And now the same Edo State people have closed down their schools, are closing down schools. If you have been to some local village, because I pass there all the time to my own place, that is where I cross to Kogi State. I pass through Benin, from there to Elushi before I cross the river Niger to my own side. Are you getting it? Or if I don't want to pass through there, I pass through Okene. Now look at what is happening in that area. Look at what is happening in my own place. Look at how many people were killed in Ikaba yesterday. The vice principal again. I pray for this country. Whoever want to take our peace and our joy away, oh God, do not fold your hands. You remembered and you came down to the children of Israel and said you have heard their voice. If P2B is the Messiah that you want to send, Lord, whatever it will not even cost you anything because you are the Almighty, our leader. Correct the evil of this country. Say no, as the pharaohs are in this country, every pharaoh that wakes up to see the blood of innocent Nigerians and come on air to make statements just to please themselves, Lord, disappoint them with their firstborn in the name of Jesus. God bless Nigeria.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much, Prince, for your call. Let's take this message. When people keep diverting money meant for security and infrastructures, both the guilty and the innocent pay the price. The primary responsibility of any government is to protect life and property of the citizens. Inability to do that means that the government has failed. This one is from Olushola Ajayi from Odonla Ikorodu. Thank you so much for your message. The phone lines are now open: 07000 917 917, 0800 123 5917. Those are the numbers to call. You can send your text messages to 0703 1756 537. Okay, let's keep it moving. We have not even finished the headlines for today. Oh no.
Only one headline is important. That's
to be honest, yeah, absolutely agree with you. To be honest,
schools can. I think that all schools should even be shut. Let all of us sit down at home. Let us, kind of recalibrate. Because look, if I have a child, I was telling somebody a few days ago that if my children were still in secondary school in the boarding house, I have gone to remove them. You understand what? Because
yeah. We have another call. Sorry, Simba. Hello, good morning.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Hi, Mrs. Oboli. Good morning. How are you?
Only good to hear you this
It's not even ask because I will not say fine. So you know I won't say fine. Me and Madam Sumbo. So the two of you this morning, where I wanted to address is where she has started from already. Me, how do you feel sending your children to school and expecting them to return on a daily basis? How? Are you not scared, Steve? Because as a parent, I'm asking myself, God, please, as these children are going, it's now a prayer point for me. It's now a prayer point for us to tell them to move in groups. And you also notice that group you tell them to move in, they're also potential targets. Because they are putting on their uniforms. You people say Nigerians are resilient people. Our resiliency, Madam Sumbo, does it also extend to kidnapping? Have we now seen that we can also adapt to this now? Because we are resilient, we are now sitting with arms akimbo. Since the government has refused to do something about it, have you seen that these men of the underworld have taken and plying their trade? They are taking it a notch higher. Do you realize they're now putting on army uniforms?
Yes, now.
By putting on army uniforms, what are they doing? They are covering or concealing their identity. In what way have our own security operatives also decided to match them aura for aura, firepower for firepower? In what way? If you see I'm sounding like an alarmist this morning, are you saying we shouldn't be alarmed at this point in time? Is this not a carnage, a full-blown war? Whoever says we are sounding like an alarmist or we are now raising the roof, shouldn't we raise the roof at this point? Okay, other news you have now. Tell me the one that surpasses this insecurity issue that you are
well said. Absolutely.
Have you noticed the brazen nature with which these people ply their trade and operate? Have you noticed it? They are now coordinated, more harnessed. We were divided as ever. A house divided against itself, you and I know, can never stand.
Yeah.
So now that my children are scared to go to school, please, will I start teaching them in the house? When will this blow over? Every day, my daughter that is in press club will say, Mommy, they said it happened in Kogi State. Mommy, they said it happened here. And the reason why they are in all these clubs is for them to be aware, for them to know what is happening in their country, for them to be abreast of situations you and I are hopeless presently about. Since they have failed, to come and maybe food, fork and knife to go and defend ourselves. Because they don't see the trajectory at all. They have failed. So we should, the only moment of respite I have now is that there's a midterm of 1 week. In that 1 week, after that 1 week, what happens to me? What happens, Numbo? In the bush, today is the 27th day. Do the mathematics. Or your children have been in the bush from May 15th till the women radio for me. The way we are counting the Dapsy girl, the way we are counting Leah Shraibu. Today is day 27. She has to drink Calabar for me. Let me be an alarmist this morning, but I am a mother who is worried and concerned about welfare of other children in the bush. But sitting on a long thing presently. Because the root by. They are, going every day a step higher. You and I are here telling the government, do this, do that. And the government is only busy campaigning for elections.
I'm giving out cards.
If I go out to my place of work and then I'm asking, hello, have they come back home? If they stay 30 minutes late,
absolutely.
They don't extend that at all.
Yeah.
They said Boko Haram. Haram is book. Abomination is book. And so they are targeted the schools. What are you doing about it? If you protect the public schools, who is protecting the private schools? Share 1 or 2 security men, not they protect private schools. Did I tell you my daughter shared a story with me that her principal, where she was making the hair with a potential mother, she said, you think it is only Fulani X-Men? Said the son of the boy or the woman that we were making hair with said they attacked the boy on their only part after school hours. 3 of them on bikes, and they said, the boy is an Igbo boy, but in school, he understood that particular statement. And he began to run. He began to run until he ran into somebody's house. 2 of them ran away on their bikes. They caught one. They handed him over to the police. Here in Ikorodu, he saw it at the so Kogi State, Osun State, Oyo State, Ibadan, Edo State. Now, are you joking? Are we joking here? For me, take him because somebody take the public outcry. Nobody take a solution. What? If it is public outcry that will let there be a solution, I can't wait for it. The tribe on fear, but if you don't give me fear, what courage are you giving me? I should allay my fears and worries that all will be well. Is all indeed well, Sumbo? For me, it's all well.
It's not.
Constantly calling and checking up on your children's school, asking yourself, when will they come back? Hey, there. My daughter told me that in Jos, they saw a boy that came to scout their school. In school, I don't mention our school, you know, for me. They beat him nearly dead. He was not a student. He only came to scout for information. Who is checking all these things through technology? What is the backup? Give me an assurance this morning. Maybe I can rest on my oars. Until then, allow me shout. Let this roof come down. Good morning, Nigerians.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Oboli. Simba, do you know what happened to me this week? I've been shouting on my on my statuses, my WhatsApp statuses, and I think I said something again, and I was like, somebody now messaged me and said, all this shout they are shouting, be careful, or that that I hope you're not biased. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, just be thanking God that God is providing for you and you are safe and everything. And I said, if all of us are having that same mentality, Kiloko, I said, I can as well sit down in my house and say, oh, because I can afford XYZ, then it means I'm okay. So I started asking her these questions that Mrs. Oboli interestingly asked. I asked her, I said, what if it was you that your child was taken? Would you tell me to be careful? What if it was this? I asked Penny, what if? I even asked, I said, what if it was my child? Would you tell me to be careful? Because a lot of us, we speak like we are far removed from the thing, but we are not.
You see, because one of the greatest damages that Nigeria has done to its people is what I call a mind twist. A mind twist. Look, the mind of many Nigerians has been twisted. Otherwise, I just told you about this nonsense giveaway. The average Nigerian there's a mental poverty that is going to great heights. It is never able to relate what is happening to himself. That is the problem. They never think, I don't know why they kind of live in this bubble that tells them that
it's a not me and my family in Jesus' name mentality.
I know we have a beautiful phrase for that. God forbid.
God forbid.
It's a talisman. As if, once you say God forbid, that's it. You are safe and sound. But the greatest enemy of Nigeria is the state itself.
Yeah.
I mean, we are not going to mince words. Like I've said, and Mrs. Oboli has also said, and nobody, any well-meaning Nigerian cannot afford to keep quiet anymore.
We have another call. Oh, it's gone. Please go ahead.
Nobody now, must have a voice and must deploy that voice. If they are deaf, maybe by the time we increase the decibel of the sound of our voices, maybe it will pierce through and they would hear. Because Mrs. Obodi is talking about the daughter, we say, oh, they said they've come to this place. That is a trauma for a child in itself.
Absolutely.
It's a terrible trauma. You are living in absolute fear.
We have a call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Evangelist Dixon. How are you?
Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Good God. The scripture. And I believe one day, whatever we do in life, Revelation 22 verse 12, it said, the year that comes with my role is to pray to everybody going to whatever you say in life. It's a matter of time. I keep on praying. Imagine these people still in the bush by now. I say I've experienced it. Even it was the student that wanted to use my son for money. But God revealed to my prayer towards it. This boy got lost for. After praying, as evangelist, I think one time the day, the first day, the second day, I think one time, the fourth day, he came just like somebody had said. That was what led my wife one day. Even in Nigeria, sometimes if something does not concern us, we don't care. Even when you are going in the go slow, there's all these boys attacking. You see people running, instead of them coming together to do it, as long as it's not there, you see them running away. I know how many times I try to say some people. You see how those people sometimes do. On the basis of saving one person, they can put their life down. Oh, we are so static in this region. That's how government has its own problem. We ourselves, in the certain places, if you are dealing with Nigerians and everything, you know that we Nigeria, I don't even know what to say. We are just religious people. We don't know God. I'm going to watch on also. This is our massacre and these people that are being condemned. Are they be killed? Are they be killed? People that shot how many people in church? No accountability. Nobody can. They've condemned them. It's able to. Where are they now? Have they killed them? If you are not seeing an example, where are the sponsors for this? Those are sponsoring this thing. Can we say we don't need the opposition? Can they push the government to bring out the list of those that sponsor? See, the security personnel are trying. Do you know how many that are being killed? When you put on that uniform, you are the target to all this. All this what is the bandits and other things. They will have to issue the go after you, clear up before they can do whatever they do. So it's not really easy. They are trying. We also wish we need to come together and be able to know what we can do to help one another. Because if these people, if they are being, look at the governor, how much they are giving the governors now. Let them start declaring state of emergency. Any say that this will happen. You see, this is tough. What the politicians? I'm telling you, let them start declaring any state that happens. You will see whether this thing will come back again. God will help us. I don't need to worry myself. Let me keep on praying. But I believe it's a matter of time. Nigeria was not like this before. Nigeria will be blessed again. I believe God. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your message. It's a sad. Let's take this message. It's a heavy morning this morning. Good morning, crew. For the Nigerians are patriotic people, but when you have people that bring and force themselves into power and are never accountable to you, it's like putting an Aguero into a vault of a central bank. It will loot it aground. When you allow people who have certificate issues, history cannot be traced. Who cannot tell you before election what he will do, but assign it to another one to answer? Who came into power, but not by the will of the people, but by INEC and judiciary? Now that you are in power, all you do is tax the daylight of Nigerians, live luxurious lifestyles, turn the people to beggars and almajiri in the midst of plenty due to your obnoxious policy, turn the economy to a disaster, compromise all institutions for election again, turning a secure country to a gangster paradise. So you can see that if you have a corrupt, above the law, low-grade mind in power, the result is this nightmare Nigerians are facing now. You cannot give what you don't have upstairs. It's a shame. The worst of us are ruling the best of us. This from Lincoln. Thank you so much for your message. It's been a really, really heavy morning this morning because, I mean, when you really, really think about what's going on in Nigeria and the rate of insecurity, you're just like, what? I asked one of the analysts on. We have another call. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Madam Fumi, this is Mr.
Yes, good morning, Prince. Welcome back.
As my brother, the evangelist, is continue to pray. Continue to pray for us. Huh? I want to find out something. Tunubu, can you hear me? If you can hear me. What did Fubara did in Rivers State before you declared a state of emergency? Because of political power doctrine. I believe there was no bloodshed. There was no single kidnapping. There was not. I remember that story. In this era of killing and kidnapping, what will it take a president to declare state of emergency on all these states? Is it that he's afraid of the governors? Is it that he's afraid or just selfish of his own interest of coming back 2027? Kill all the people in Nigeria. Since what the people have said, if they kill their life, let them kidnap all of them. Tinubu must be there in 2027. Is it because of that? I want my analyst to help me answer that question this morning. God bless you.
God bless you. God bless you.
This 1 million question that you guy give Sumbo.
Well, no, interestingly, he took it out of my mouth because I thought we were going to get to, the headlines that we had kind of put out. The article.
Yeah, I was about to go there before we got the call. Yes.
Position. And when I read that, what just came to my mind is what he just said. That we had a case of River State. You made a state of emergency for 6 months. Not a single bloodshed. I don't recall that anybody was kidnapped. It was just a political, difference or whatever it was in a particular state with your boy from Abuja Wike, putting his hand where he shouldn't be, and all of that. But here is Nigeria. It is in a state of turmoil. And the truth of the matter is, let's ask ourselves, how many times has Tinubu come out to address Nigeria over these things? And when it comes to speak, what does he say? What does he say? Do you understand? The other one that he came to comment on the abduction of your children. What did he say? Okay, during the Salah holidays, the sacrifice was what does that mean? Do you understand? Now, let me also now say something to you, Fumi. One of the other, negative effect that this is breeding, and people have spoken about it, over and over again, is the fact that now we begin to have different armed groups. I opened my phone this morning as I was trying to go through the headlines, and I saw, a video of some women, in full, some kind of regalia carrying AK-47. And they said, this is Asari Dokubo's, private security personnel. Look, they carry the FS of 47. If you saw the amount of what are those things that they shoot? Well, no, the bullets or whatever that they slung around their necks. And look, by the time we begin to have this private militia like this, may God deliver us, from a Sudan experience, from a Liberia experience in the days of and do you understand? Because what it means is that Nigerians are now taking the law into their hands, and you've seen government officials coming out to say Nigerians should defend themselves. So when you now begin to have militia here and there, what you are going to find out is that they are going to go beyond, the desire or the objective that they give to us of wanting to secure their people into wanting to gain power. It becomes a power tussle. It becomes who controls what region, who controls that region. And then the nation will now be okay. We've been talking of anarchy. The anarchy is now fully manifest. And these are the things that we need to check. People have been crying. It's not for want of people talking. When Iraq was taken out by the American government, I remember reading about people coming to analyze it and saying that there will be proliferation of arms across Africa. And people came and spoke about the Nigeria position, how, susceptible Nigeria will be as concerning that. When people speak, nobody listens, nobody takes action. We never prevent any evil in this country. It's all about, when the thing has come upon us, we now begin to struggle how to address it. And sometimes it appears that it is deliberate. The Yoruba say something, they say, Arijenu Modaru. It appears that it is intentional and deliberate so that people who always like to profit from a chaotic situation can now have a field day. Where, we keep on talking. If the president is listening, if he's not listening, he's it. There must be somebody in that, in that group, in government that listen to these things. What do they do with what they hear? This is the position of Nigerians. This is the cry of Nigerians. We are not safe. Our children are not safe. Can we rise and have the milk of compassion, for once in our lives, and put away everybody's politicking? The most important thing to a Madam Tinubu, in this situation, this season that we are in, was to go and campaign and say she was giving cars to women leaders of states that were not APC. Imagine that nonsense. And Nigerians were there. If anything goes, anything goes. If for me, are you still there?
I'm here. I'm just.
You don't understand? That is the Igbo man talks about rubbing insult on injury. One that is bleeding, mothers that are out there, you children that are out there, hearts that are wounded. Then you come and rub salt on top of it. And if anybody is even doing anything, should she not be the one to cover her head, bow her head, and begin to see what can be done? This is how heartless we have become. This is how numb we have become to the plight of the people, to the cry of the people. Campaign my foot. 2027, my foot. After all, they say Yoruba people that they are tells us that if two trees fall on top of each other, you first remove the one on top. This security situation is the one on top now. And what even gives us that confidence that elections we hold? It is said that man proposes, God disposes. Why don't we solve the problem that is at hand now? And then we get to 27, we handle 2027 where we get to it. I think it is wickedness, not just about presidency. Anybody that now is preoccupied with campaign with 2027 in the midst of this trouble that we are in is wicked. I'm not afraid to say so.
Interesting.
You are a statesman. We had a Mandela in South Africa who went to jail for 27 years just for his nation. He put his family, to one side, and it cost him 27 solid years. Nigerian leaders, I don't call them leaders, so I've always said it. I don't see the kind of leaders that they are. They cannot spend 10 minutes to ponder upon the Nigerian situation. What kind of leadership is that? What kind of government officials is that? And you see, let me say something also for me. When we take these people, we address them. They have family members. What are they telling them?
Yeah.
They have friends, a committee of friends. What are they telling them? They attend mosques. What are they telling them? They attend churches. What are they telling them? Because it means that all of us are complicit in this thing. If I have a brother who is in, and then I will call you and tell if I'm from my house, if you're not in my house, but what nonsense are you doing? No. I can imagine the forefathers of this nation, those who fought vehemently for Nigeria to be a nation, independent and all of that. I can imagine them all turning in their graves.
Give us a second. We have a call. Sumba. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You are here with the from the
Okay. What do you say your name is? Chief Mike. Okay, please go ahead.
Yes, I want to ask you a simple question. There's a man called, or let me say, there was a man called he wants to say, and this is coming, and no one listening to him. So he was sentenced to like the president. What is the way forward now? It's not about us. Now, you want us. Thank you.
All right, he's asking about Nnamdi Kanu. Quite a few people have also mentioned him as well, saying that what did he do that he's been in prison, like all these other people. I mean, Nigeria's issues are just so much. This week, I did ask one of our analysts, I said, people are asking why the president hasn't come to address Nigerians. And he was like, he understands. But I was like, no. Like, you have to pick a side at this point. Same thing with, I think last week as well, when I saw the video of the first lady distributing cars, I was so disturbed. I was disheartened. I was just like, I was in shock. So when you were asking me, like, am I here? I was, at the end of the day, we have to also pray for our hearts, because if you really, really think about what Nigeria is doing to us as Nigerians, it's a lot.
Do you understand?
It's a lot.
I think it was my daughter and I who were speaking last night. I can't even remember what she was saying. And I said, my darling, Nigeria does not have a social provision for anybody. Do you understand? Yes, I think she was trying to say she's a very interesting person. By that bus stop, they know her, they call her Mama when she takes buses and all of that. So I was asking her, what do you think you can do there? She said, Mommy, I've been thinking about it. And she began to put forward things that could be done. Do you understand? And we got into it. I said, Nigeria has no place for social help in this country. But Nigeria doesn't care about nobody. You know, and they have infected us. You understand? I don't even know. Is it the people that infected government or government that infected people? They infected each other. Because that's why I said that in this season that I'm in, yes, I call out the government, but the Nigerian people themselves they scare me. It's a participatory, evil. They scare me. And that's why sometimes some people will come and say, oh, you are fighting for Nigeria. I listened to Just Adetong a few days ago. She got to the point where she said, look, I think I also want to give up. Because, and what was her complaint? The position that Nigerians themselves take. You know, when like they say, you begin to crowd before your oppressor. You begin to make a case for your oppressor. Yeah. We need to be free, where emancipation, free from be free in our minds. Whose side was it? Bob Marley or whatever? Bob Marley, yeah. You understand? For me, but look, the truth of the matter is, let us begin to come together in groups. Whatever your sphere of influence is, you understand? Be sure to be a voice. Be sure that you can galvanize the people to do something positive, little by little. Do you understand? Yes, we are praying, but little by little, within your own sphere of influence, begin to, speak to the people, begin to let them understand the danger of the position that we have taken. Don't begin to collect money from bandits. Don't begin, you understand? Yeah. It has now become the economic part of this thing is the one that is even most obvious now. Because now you are saying, it's not, look, let's be fair. Fulani S-men, okay, it's no longer just about Fulani S-men, though. Those who kidnap Adelabu's sister and the children, are they Fulani?
They're not.
There are so many in Lagos that they are catching up and down. Are they Fulani? You understand? So it has become an open market where anybody can trade.
Oh boy. Let's take this last message before we go. If Israel was praying without doing anything to stand up for themselves, they'd be reduced to ruins now. What's that Bible passage that spoke again about faith without works? Do you realize what befell Osama bin Laden was what stemmed the tide of terrorism in the Western world? So now they've never rested on their oars on this issue as they intentionally flush out these miscreants from their society. The reason it's a structured state is because it swiftly responds to attacks and proactively tackles issues. Does that obtain in this country for me? As we round up, just remember that terrorism is at the center stage and the most viable trade in this country presently. We have major terrorists, minor bandits, and greenhorn kidnappers who have started kidnapping themselves. Biko, where do we go from here? Thank you so much, Mrs. Oboli, for sending a text message as well. She said, all I want to say is that they didn't really care about. I do have a Sumba. Thank you so much for coming on the program today. Yes, please.
Before the last minute, the place to begin in Nigeria in this fight is the National Assembly. Let us face them. Let us, you understand, agitate. That's the place to stomp, because that is the most, they are the lawmakers. They are the ones that really, give power to whether executive or whatever. So let the National Assembly be the focus of Nigerians, whether we are voting or not. Thank you very much. Have a good morning.
Have a good morning to you. 9 o'clock is the news. 9:05 is her lunch. Do not go anywhere. This is still Women Radio 91.7. So catch you next week on another edition of the Daily News Review. Bye for now.
Bye.